Alongside Brent Hubbs, I'm Austin Price for the Volquest Stock Report to wrap up this 2023 regular season. However, when you look at this team, maybe lost a game or two they shouldn't, but on the whole, 8-4, not too bad. Stock up for you this week, exiting the Vanderbilt game.
Well, I'm going to go tight ends and a shout out to our man Jalen Wright. Jalen Wright getting 1,000 yards in a single season is a terrific accomplishment, and hats off to Jalen Wright for achieving that mark. So he deserves a stock up. But give me some tight end love to Jacob Warren and McCollin Castles. Both those guys went out with touchdowns. They had 6 total catches between the two of them. And Jacob Warren has quietly, Austin, had a really nice career. He is 1 touchdown and catch away from tying the school record for career touchdown catches for tight ends. They're an integral part of what Tennessee does offensively. I don't think they get enough credit. Both those guys had really solid years.
Man, got that bowl game to play, Hover. I mean, hype
Throw
loves
him one.
records. Hype loves records. You can bet Jacob Warren.
Throw him one.
You can be politicking. You can be politicking for that one. Stock up for me. I'm going to go Joe Milton. Nice end of his career, 6 total touchdowns, and then Ramel Keaton. 122 yards receiving, a couple of touchdowns against Vanderbilt. Those two kind of jived as kind of backups with the second team a year ago in fall camp. Then Ramel kind of got inserted into the starting lineup when Cedric Tillman went down. Obviously, it's been Joe's show this year, and I thought they ended on a nice patch there Saturday. So Joe Milton, Ramel Keaton for me. I'm not going to go any stock downs this week. I'm feeling generous. And what about stock downs for you?
Well, I guess I'm not. I'm Captain Negative, right? So we got to go with the stock down for me. And I'm just going to go discipline and penalties. I think that's the one thing that when you look at this season that you talk about correctable errors, correctable things, regardless of who's on your roster and who's not. 3 years in a row, Tennessee's been a highly penalized team. They had over 100 last year. They're approaching 100 this year, Austin, and that's too many penalties. Look, the officials are not very good, right? And we know that. So not all of it is Tennessee's fault, but you don't get nearly 100 penalties and 70 of them are wrong by the officials or 40 of them are wrong or whatever. Officiating's had a bad year. That's got to improve in the conference. But Tennessee's got to clean some stuff up. And I'm not even counting the whole bench clearing, but just not even talking about that stuff. Just in the second half, they had 4 personal foul penalties on defense. Just some stuff that they've got to clean up moving forward.
Stock stagnant. We're going to do a joint stock stagnant. It's just the young players at different spots. Whether it's Ethan Davis at tight end, the young corners and safeties, the young offensive lineman Hubbard. Tennessee did not do a good job of getting them in blowout games, in my opinion. I know it's your opinion as well. And so I think I think we have high hopes for some of those kids, but you don't know yet. And so it's stock stagnant for a lot of those younger kids.
Yeah, I mean, you had a very veteran team, and then you had a very young team. There's not a whole lot in between, and you had an opportunity to get some guys on the field, even in the Vanderbilt game, to give them some experience to try to let them grow. Because you're going to be a young team next year. Even if you're heavy in the portal, you're not going to be a salty veteran football team next year because you've just got too many young bodies you're going to be playing. You're even younger because you didn't get a lot of those guys experience this year, particularly in the secondary for one, and then also on the offensive line. I mean, you look at it, they outside of Addison Nichols' game against Vanderbilt, they've not played a high school offensive lineman that they've signed since they've been here, not a meaningful snap. And I just think that, you got to break the cycle at some point because the cycle can't be every year you're going to get 2 or 3 experienced guys at a certain position because you're inexperienced there. You got to play some younger guys. I think that stands out to me about just missed opportunity this year with this football team.
He is Brent Hubbs. I'm Austin Price for the Volquest Stock Report.